Act I, The Hook, Griffin living room, Lois is Peter. Why is there a camera set up in the living room? Peter, Lois, I've decided we're gonna be TikTok famous. I already filmed myself eating 40 hot dogs in slow motion. Cutaway, Peter shirtless, eating hot dogs with dramatic Titanic music, people in comments spamming. Dun dun dun. Meg, please, Dad, don't drag me into this. Stewie, on the contrary, Meg, I see opportunity. The internet shall soon bow to me. Act 2, Viral Madness. Peter starts a stupid dad hacks series, like using a hairdryer to defrost frozen pizza. Lois accidentally goes viral just yelling at Peter, POV, my wife is mad again, gets 2M likes. Chris dances in the background of every video, gaining his own fan base. Meg finally gets attention for her makeup tutorials, until Peter crashes them. Stewie and Brian launch a parody cooking show, Wine and World Domination. B-plot, Stewie's fame addiction. Stewie realizes the more outrageous he is, the more views he gets. Soon he's faking dangerous stunts like juggling knives. Brian, Stewie, this is insane. Stewie, insane? Or, algorithmically correct. Act 3, The Crash. When Peter tries to film a 24 hours handcuffed to a goat video, chaos erupts. The goat escapes into the street. Chris chases it on rollerblades. Meg live streams the disaster, yelling, follow for more. Stewie tries to hijack the live to promote his own merch. Act 4, The Lesson, sort of, the police shut it all down. Lois, Peter, this has gone too far. No more viral stunts. Peter, you're right, Lois, from now on, only responsible content. Cutaway, Peter in a suit giving fake motivational speeches like, believe in yourself, unless you're Meg. Act V, Epilogue, Griffin living room, Lois, well, at least the internet forgot about us. Stewie, not quite. I'm trending, as the villain. Brian, sounds about right. Peter, don't worry, Lois, I already signed us up for season 2. Cutaway, Netflix trailer, Keeping Up with the Griffins. The end. White heavy checkmark. Act I, Lois's new idea, Griffin living room, Lois says Peter, if we each took up a professional hobby, we might improve ourselves. Peter, Lois, I already have a profession, sweating without doing anything. Cutaway, Peter is sitting, watching TV, suddenly sweating, holding a trophy labeled, professional sweater, grinning. Chris, I want to learn guitar. Meg, I'll take art classes. Stewie, I shall learn nuclear physics. Brian, I'll attend wine tasting sessions. Act 2, everyone goes their separate ways. Peter signs up for professional wrestling school, but ends up splitting his pants upon entering the ring. Lois attends a cooking class, but Peter live streams it as Lois Burns Dinner, Episode 1. Chris, while attempting to play guitar, accidentally dials emergency services, as the chord sounds like an emergency dial. Meg paints an art class, everyone says it's wonderful. But Peter pours ketchup over her painting, now it's modern art. Stewie hijacks a college lab and creates a miniature black hole. Brian, after sampling wines, decides to give an impromptu TED Talk. B-plot, Stewie's black hole. Stewie uses his tiny black hole to dispose of a bag of chips, but it ends up swallowing the entire refrigerator. Brian, Stewie, do you realize this is dangerous? Stewie, of course I do, that's why I'm testing it with the fridge first. Cutaway, Peter's arm gets pulled into the black hole. Ah. Lois, my arm's gone, but the TV remote fell into my lap. Act 3, the chaos begins. Citywide issues arise. At Peter's wrestling match, the audience gets injured as he attempts a crowd dive, mistakenly showering everyone with pizzas. Chris's mistaken call results in a SWAT team arrival. Meg's art gallery catches fire from Peter's ketchup installation. Stewie's black hole grows from small to large, beginning to swallow the neighborhood. Act 4, the solution. Lois gathers everyone, see? It takes discipline to be professional. Peter, then let's all have one profession together. Stewie sighs, fine. I'm closing the black hole. But remember, I'll open it once more someday. Everyone joins Lois's cooking class. Act V, Epilogue, Griffin kitchen. Lois, look, we made a cake together. Peter, and I'm a professional at eating it. Chris plays guitar, Meg designs the frosting, Stewie writes with icing, world domination pending. Brian toasts with wine, to the Griffins, professionals at being unprofessional. Cutaway, Peter, wearing a WWE belt, eating cake, champion of dessert wrestling.
Cold open it. Griffin living room, afternoon. Chris is showing Lois a photo of him with a giant cartoon squirrel at Quahog theme park. Peter is eating cotton candy. Chris dad, you should get a job at the park. You get to wear a costume and wave at people. Peter Chris, that's perfect for me. I already wave at strangers for no reason. Lois Peter, those mascot costumes get really hot, and you have to stay in character. Peter Lois, I've been in character my whole life. Lovable idiot. Nailed it. Cutaway gag, EXT, Street, Day Peter in a squirrel suit waving at cars. A driver throws him a sandwich. Peter best tip I've ever gotten. ACT1EXT, Quahog theme park, Day, Peter shows up wearing half of a mascot costume because he got tired halfway. Park manager, you'll wear the full suit, greet guests, and take pictures without scaring children. Peter got it, wave, hug, and don't talk about taxes. Montage, Peter AS mascot trips over his oversized mascot feet and knocks over a popcorn stand. Dances with kids, then steals their fries mid-hug. Accidentally gets in a fist fight with another mascot over territory. Int. Griffin kitchen, night. Peter brags to the family. Peter, best part about being a mascot? Nobody knows it's you until you take the head off at the snack bar. Stewie yes, anonymity ruined by gluttony. ACT2EXT, Quahog theme park, Day, Peter is at the park again, this time in full costume, but now realizing the weight of his commitment. Peter, VO, Day 2, sweat to mustiness ratio, unbearable. Act I, the setup, opening, Griffin kitchen. Lois. The kids' summer camp counselor quit last minute, and they're desperate for volunteers. I sign us up to run it for a week. Peter, Lois, I'm not camp counselor material. I'm more campfire accident material. Cutaway. Peter trying to roast a marshmallow, accidentally lighting the whole campfire pit on fire while yelling, "It's fine, it's fine." Chris, cool. I'll be in charge of the sports. Meg, do I have to go? Stewie, oh yes, I'd love to teach children survival skills, like how to fend off raccoons with a broom. Act 2, first day at camp. The Griffins are assigned roles. Lois, camp director Peter, activities coordinator Chris, sports leader Meg, arts and crafts, a role she clearly hates, Stewie and Brian, nature hike guides. Things go wrong immediately. Peter turns archery into shooting soda, turns off my head. Chris loses a dodgeball game to a group of 6-year-olds. Meg gets glue stuck in her hair. Stewie leads the nature hike directly into a beehive. B-plot, Brian's cabin crush. Brian meets another camp volunteer, a laid-back yoga instructor named Claire. Brian, she's the perfect blend of grace and outdoors a charm. Stewie, she smells like pine cones and bad decisions. Act 3, camp chaos. The kids revolt when lunch turns out to be mystery meat. Peter tries to calm them down with a camp-wide talent show, but a kid's magic trick sets the stage curtain on fire. Act I, the setup. Opening, Griffin living room, Lois. I got free tickets to the Quahog traveling circus tonight. Peter, awesome. I've always wanted to smell popcorn and fear at the same time. Cutaway, Peter sitting in a circus tent with a clown chasing him with a pie yelling, "You know what you did." Chris, do they have elephants? Meg, do they have a reason for existing in 2025? Stewie, perhaps they have a bearded lady I can interview for my memoirs. Act 2, the accident at the circus. Peter gets inspired to join in during the clown act, accidentally knocking over part of the trapeze rig. The ringmaster, desperate to fill the gaps while fixing it, offers the Griffins temporary jobs for the rest of the week. Lois, Peter, we are not joining the circus. Peter, too late, Lois, I've already named my act, the Magnificent Meatball. Act 3, the acts everyone gets assigned a role. Peter, human cannonball, but keeps aiming for the snack stand. Lois, trapeze artist, ends up babysitting the real performers. Chris, animal caretaker, bonding mostly with a llama named Steve. Meg, balloon vendor, constantly loses customers to the cotton candy stand. Stewie and Brian, knife throwing act. Stewie throws, Brian panics. B-plot, Brian's crush Brian falls for a glamorous trapeze artist named Valentina. Brian, she's exotic, graceful, Stewie, and way out of your league. Act 4, the disaster performance on their big night. Peter overshoots the cannon and lands in the popcorn machine. Lois' trapeze bar snaps. She lands on a safety net, but is pelted with peanuts. Chris' llama escapes into the crowd. Meg's balloons tangle around the ringmaster. Stewie's knife misses the target and pops all of Meg's balloons at once. The audience loves it, thinking it's all part of the show. Act V, epilogue, a Griffin living room, Lois. Well, that's the last time we join the circus. Peter, speak for yourself. I got a lifetime pass to the snack stand. Stewie, and I got a llama's phone number. Don't ask. Brian, and he got rejected. Again. Cutaway, Llama Steve lounging on the couch wearing sunglasses. Act I, the offer. Opening, Griffin living room, Lois. Peter, why is there a flyer saying we're the house band for the SS Atlantic Dream cruise ship? Peter, oh, that's because I signed us up for a free cruise. All we have to do is provide live entertainment. Lois, Peter, none of us can play instruments. Peter, Lois, the kazoo is an instrument. Cutaway, Peter playing kazoo into a microphone while people boo. Act 2, setting sail, they board the ship and get assigned instruments. Peter, lead singer, and kazoo soloist. Lois, keyboard. Chris, drums, keeps losing the sticks. Meg, bass, barely audible. Stewie, electric guitar. Brian, saxophone, because it makes me look cool. Their first performance is so bad the audience throws bread rolls, which Peter eats mid-song. B-plot, Stewie's ship takeover. Stewie decides he should be captain instead of a guitarist and starts scheming to overthrow the actual captain by winning over the crew with strategically distributed pudding cups. Act 3, Trouble on the High Seas. Peter dedicates every song to free shrimp cocktails. Chris accidentally hits a passenger in the face with a drumstick. Meg gets her bass strap tangled in a microphone cord. Stewie's pudding coup gains momentum. Brian spends more time flirting with passengers than practicing. When a tropical storm hits, the captain asks the Griffins to play something calming. Peter chooses We Will Rock You. Act 4, Mutiny and Mayhem. Stewie's takeover causes confusion among the crew, and the ship briefly drifts off course. Peter tries to help by making an announcement over the PA system, but only succeeds in starting a buffet stampede. The storm sends the drum kit sliding across the stage, with Chris still playing. Act V, Epilogue, a Griffin living room, Lois. Well, we're banned from ever performing on a cruise ship again. Peter. Joke's on them, we got free shrimp for life. Stewie. And I got a taste for power, nautical power. Brian. And I got seasick. Cutaway. Stewie on a ship deck wearing a captain's hat, shouting, "Full speed ahead," while pudding cups rain from above. The end. Peter. Lois, the kazoo is an instrument. Cutaway. Peter playing kazoo into a microphone while people boo. They board the ship and get assigned instruments. Peter, lead singer, and kazoo soloist. Lois, keyboard, Chris, drums, keeps losing the sticks. Meg, bass, barely audible. Stewie, electric guitar. Brian, saxophone, because it makes me look cool. Their first performance is so bad the audience throws bread rolls, which Peter eats mid-song. Stewie decides he should be captain instead of a guitarist, and starts scheming to overthrow the actual captain by winning over the crew with strategically distributed pudding cups. Peter dedicates every song to free shrimp cocktails. Chris accidentally hits a passenger in the face with a drumstick. Act I, Lois's push Griffin living room, Lois. Peter, the doctor said you need to get fit. Peter, Lois, I'm already fit into 2 XL pizzas. Cutaway. Peter is walking on a treadmill, eating 2 pizzas, and eventually falls, getting covered in cheese. Lois signs the whole family up for the gym. Chris, I want muscles so the girls will be impressed. Meg, I just want to do cardio. Stewie, I want a nuclear strength program so I can throw Brian into orbit. Brian, great. Gym bros with a baby. Act 2, gym antics. Peter brings in donut-shaped dumbbells while lifting weights. Lois is exercising properly, but constantly has to deal with Peter's antics. Chris accidentally gets stuck in a locker and everyone thinks he's trying a new yoga pose. Meg makes a TikTok while running on the treadmill, but Peter falls behind and makes her video go viral. Stewie creates a little protein shake lab, Stewie's Super Serum. B-plot, Stewie's Super Serum. Stewie feeds his protein formula to Brian. Brian, Stewie, this tastes kind of. Suddenly, Brian turns into a Hulk-sized dog. Stewie, finally, my canine bodyguard. Cutaway, giant Brian in a suit as a bank security guard. Sir, step away from the biscuits. Act 3, gym chaos. Everything starts to go haywire. Peter's donut dumbbell gets stuck in the machine, setting off alarms throughout the gym. Chris breaks out of the stuck locker, running around in a frenzy. Meg's treadmill video hits 1 million views, and everyone rushes to the gym to watch live. Stewie's serum overdoses, turning Brian into a monstrous dog, starting to destroy the gym. Act 4, resolution. Lois yells, "Enough! We came here for ourselves, not for the gym." Peter, so does that mean I can eat a burger right now? Stewie gives Brian the antidote to return him to normal, which is actually grape juice. The gym authorities ban the Griffins. Too destructive. Act V. Epilogue, Griffin living room. Lois. Well, the gym banned us. Happy, Peter? Peter, of course. From now on, my exercise will be lift fork, eat, repeat. Act I, the offer. Opening, Griffin kitchen. Lois. The Quahog Grand Hotel is short-staffed this weekend, and they're paying double to anyone who can help run it. Peter, Lois, that's perfect. We can get rich, and I can finally wear a bellhop hat without being arrested. Cutaway. Peter in a hotel lobby stealing mints while a bellhop chases him out. Chris. Can I be the guy who carries people's luggage? Meg. Can I just work the front desk? Stewie. I call management. Every great empire starts with a hotel. Act 2. Assigned roles, they each get jobs. Lois, acting hotel manager. Peter, concierge, disaster waiting to happen. Chris, bellhop. Meg, front desk receptionist. Stewie and Brian, in charge of guest relations, aka VIP service. Peter starts telling guests about secret attractions that don't exist, like the rooftop llama petting zoo. B-plot. Stewie's 5-star scheme. Stewie decides to boost the hotel's rating by bribing guests with over-the-top services, rose petal baths, champagne breakfasts, and personal puppet shows. Brian. Stewie, this is costing the hotel money. Stewie. Brian, you can't put a price on a 5-star review, except I just did. It's $200. Act 3. Chaos in the lobby. Peter double books the presidential suite, forcing 2 angry guests to share a bed. Chris drops an entire luggage cart into the fountain. Meg accidentally gives a room key to the wrong person, leading to an awkward surprise encounter. Stewie's puppet show ends with him insulting a VIP guest. Act 4. Big event disaster. The hotel is hosting a black tie charity gala. Peter mistakes the caterer's trays for a buffet and eats half the hors d'oeuvres. ACT2EXT, the Quahog mini golf. Next day, Peter's boss visits for a surprise inspection. Boss Peter, why is there a live kangaroo on the 9th hole? Peter, it's a hazard. Gotta spice up the game. Who needs sand traps when you have kangaroo boxing matches happening on the green? Boss, if you say so. But remember, don't let anything go too wild. Cut to EXT, Quahog mini golf. Evening, Chris and Meg visit and discover chaos. Chris, Dad, you've got to see this. The place looks like a carnival threw up on it. MEG. Peter, why is Mr. Herbert running the snack stand dressed like Napoleon? Peter, it's promotional. Buy a hot dog, get a history lesson. Everyone loves history, right? Cutaway gag, famous Battle of Waterloo. Mr. Herbert explains the battle to confused customers while serving snacks. Back to scene. Peter tries to play it cool as the course turns into an anarchic funhouse. Act 3. Griffin living room, night. Lois turns on the local news. News anchor. In other news, a local mini golf course is attracting attention for its unconventional approach. Peter nervously watches the report. Lois looks skeptical. Lois. Peter, are you sure you're handling this professionally? Peter. Lois, how many managers can say their ideas make it on TV? Back at the course, municipal inspectors arrive to evaluate the chaos. Act I. The setup. Opening, Griffin kitchen. Lois. Peter, why did you sign us up for something called America's Fiercest Kitchens? Peter. Lois, I thought it was an all-you-can-eat buffet. Cutaway. Peter sitting at a fancy table with celebrity chefs glaring at him as he eats raw ingredients. Chris. Wait, is this a cooking competition? Meg. We're doomed. Stewie. Speak for yourself. I shall dominate and destroy these so-called chefs. Act 2. Entering the kitchen, the family arrives on set and gets assigned as a team. The host, Chef Dominique Flame, announces, your first challenge, make a gourmet meal in 30 minutes. Roles. Lois, head chef, tries to keep everyone in line. Peter, in charge of meat station but eats half the ingredients. Chris, salad prep, but turns it into a giant salad tower. Meg, dessert station, sabotaged when Peter mistakes the sugar for salt. Stewie and Brian, creative plating, which turns into a competition over who can make the fanciest design. B-plot, Stewie versus the prodigy chef. Stewie learns one of the rival contestants is a 7-year-old cooking prodigy named Hugo Flame. Stewie, a worthy nemesis, but I shall crush you like an undercooked souffle. Act 3, kitchen chaos. Peter burns the steak, then tries to fix it by covering it in barbecue sauce and glitter. Chris's salad tower collapses into the soup pot. Meg's dessert explodes in the oven, coating the kitchen in chocolate smoke. Stewie's fancy plate design includes a tiny edible diorama of himself. Brian spends most of the challenge flirting with the judge. Act 4. The judges are confused. Lois's main dish is okay, but drowning in glitter from Peter's steak. Chris's soup salad hybrid is avant-garde but gross. Meg's dessert is declared a biohazard. Stewie's edible diorama actually impresses one judge, until they discover it's poisoned, just a little bit, according to Stewie. They're eliminated, but the audience votes their chaos as most entertaining. Act V. Epilogue Griffin Living Room, Lois. Well, we didn't win the $50,000 prize. Peter, but we got all these free aprons. Stewie, and I proved my superiority over Hugo Flame in my heart. Brian, and I got the judge's phone number. Cutaway, Peter wearing an apron in bed, eating glitter-covered steak. The Yendi, do you want the next one about the Griffins accidentally running a zoo for a day after the staff goes missing? That could be total animal chaos. Act I, the setup, opening, Quahog Mall Food Court, Lois. We just need to pick up a few things, then we'll head home. Peter, Lois, you can't rush art, and by art, I mean my quest to try every free sample in this mall. Cutaway, Peter in a food court line repeatedly wearing fake mustaches for more samples. Chris, ew, can we check out the arcade? Meg, I'm going to the bookstore. Don't follow me. Stewie, Brian, I sense an opportunity for chaos in this place. Act 2. The lock-in while shopping. The Griffins lose track of time. The mall closes, lights dim, and the security gates drop. Peter, relax, Lois. This is like night at the museum, but with more Auntie Anne's pretzels. Lois, we need to find security. Peter, or we can explore. B-plot. Stewie and Brian's heist. Stewie convinces Brian to help him liberate expensive gadgets from the electronics store. Brian, you mean steal. Stewie, such an ugly word. I prefer redistribute to myself. Act 3. Mall mayhem. Peter rides the escalators in reverse until he falls off. Chris hosts a fashion show in the department store, wearing all the women's hats at once. Meg locks herself in the bookstore's cafe to eat all the muffins. Stewie and Brian trigger the mall's motion sensors while sneaking gadgets, setting off a disco light security mode. Cutaway. Stewie dancing under the flashing lights holding a PlayStation controller. Act 4. Security showdown. A sleepy mall guard finally spots them. Peter distracts him by starting a midnight mall Olympics, shopping cart races, food court hot dog eating, and perfume counter dodgeball. Lois. Peter, we're getting arrested. Peter, not if I win the gold medal in hot dogs. Act V. Epilogue. A Griffin living room, Lois. We're lucky the guard let us off with a warning. Peter, and even luckier he gave me this free pretzel coupon. Stewie, and I have the few souvenirs. Brian, you mean stolen goods. Stewie, semantics, Brian, semantics. Cold open it. Griffin living room, December evening. Lois is wrapping presents. Peter is wearing a Santa hat and eating cookies. TV announcer, VO, Quahog Mall is now hiring Santas for the holiday season. Peter, Lois, this is perfect. I get free cookies, I sit all day, and kids tell me their secrets. Lois. Peter, being Santa means responsibility. You can't just blurt out anything you want. Peter. Lois, I am responsibility, wrapped in red velvet. Cutaway gag and mall day kid on Peter's lap. I want a pony. Peter, great, and I want Jennifer Lopez, but here we are. Next. Act 1 int. Quahog Mall, day. Peter arrives in a cheap Santa suit that doesn't fit, with the beard hanging sideways. Mall manager, your job is to greet kids, listen to their wishes, and smile for photos. Peter got it. So, basically, lie to children for free cookies. Montage. Peter as Mall Santa promises a kid a PS5, then adds, "But only if you beat me at arm wrestling." Falls asleep mid-photo, face down in his fake beard. Starts a snowball fight in the food court.
Int.
Griffin kitchen, night. Peter brags to the family. Peter, best part about being Santa? Nobody gets mad at you for having a belly full of cookies and milk. Stewie yes, the perfect cover for gluttony and delusion. Act 2 Int. Quahog Mall, Santa's Grotto, Day. Peter's popularity has soared as the most unconventional Santa. Kids chanting, "Peter Claus, Peter Claus. Peter, thank you, thank you. Remember, Santa loves cake in his stocking." Peter the Beach Lifeguard ACT2EXT, Quahog Beach, Day. Peter is attempting to teach a CPR class with disastrous results. He pretends a CPR mannequin is choking and performs the Heimlich maneuver, sending its head flying into the ocean. Beach Supervisor Peter, you can't just make up rescue techniques. Peter, hey, I'm thinking outside the lifeguard box here. Beach Supervisor, well, maybe think inside it for a while. Peter heads back to his lifeguard stand. He spots a commotion in the water and jumps in to save someone. Cutaway gag, EXT, Ocean Day. Peter discovers it's just a group of dolphins playing a prank on him. One of them is wearing sunglasses. Peter real mature, flipper. Act 3 Int. Griffin living room, night. The family is watching TV. Peter enters covered in seaweed after another failed rescue attempt. Lois Peter, maybe lifeguarding isn't your thing. Peter Lois, you should have seen me. I was like a chubby Aquaman. Lois, I did see you. You tried to rescue a cooler full of sodas. Peter, those sodas needed saving. Comedy gag Int. Griffin House Day. Peter is in the garage, practicing CPR on the garden gnome. Peter, you're gonna make it, little buddy. Peter's pager beeps. EXT, Quahog Beach, Day. Peter arrives to find an actual emergency. A kid stuck in a sandcastle. Kid, help, I'm trapped in New Jersey. Peter ends the day heroically, finally saving the kid, earning the title of Most Improved Lifeguard. Peter Griffin as a wedding DJ is exactly the kind of chaotic yet endearing situation we'd expect from our favorite Rhode Island family. With episode title, Peter the Wedding DJ, let's dive further. Act 2 Int. Griffin living room, Day. Peter's DJ business is surprisingly taking off, and he's been booked for multiple weddings, much to Lois's suspicion. Lois Peter, just because they haven't banned you yet doesn't mean you're a success. Peter, oh Lois, where's your imagination? I'm practically a musical genius, like Beethoven if he mixed EDM tracks. Cutaway gag Int. Beethoven Studio, Day. Beethoven, frustrated by piano, plugs in headphones and starts bobbing his head to an electronic remix. EXT, Outdoor Wedding Day. Peter is standing by the DJ booth, looking overly confident. Groom, remember, just keep it simple. My grandma finds loud noises a bit distressing. Peter simple? Dude, I'm talking about a DJ revolution. Imagine a drumline eruption in the middle of the cake cutting.
Int.
Outdoor Wedding Day. The ceremony proceeds. When the groom and bride kiss, Peter plays Another One Bites the Dust, much to the groom's horror. Act 3 Int. Griffin kitchen, night. Lois, Meg, and Stewie watch a wedding video where Peter heroically, albeit disastrously, rappers commentary over the first dance. MEG Dad, not everybody wants surprise rap battles during their reception. Peter O, so now everyone's a critic. Stewie, you've turned the art of wedding ruining into an Olympic sport, Peter.
Int.
Church wedding day. Peter's final gig. Determined to prove himself, He shows up in a tuxedo but accidentally plays the church organ's demo track on repeat. Bride. Exasperated? Well, at least it's cheerful.
Int.
Griffin House Day. Peter finally gets home to a surprise. Lois Peter, the neighborhood organized an intervention. Cold open it. Griffin living room. Night. Lois is folding laundry. Peter barges in wearing a plastic police badge and a toy flashlight. Peter, Lois. Quahog Amusement Park is hiring security guards. It's perfect. I get to yell at people, eat funnel cakes, and wear sunglasses at night. Lois. Peter, security guards need to be alert and responsible. Peter. Lois. My middle name is Alert. Lois. No, it's Lowenbrow. Cutaway gag DMV. Day Peter showing his license. Clerk. Peter Lowenbrow Griffin. Wow, parents really hated you, huh? ACT1EXT. Quahog Amusement Park. Day. Peter shows up in a too tight uniform, mirrored sunglasses, and a whistle he keeps blowing for no reason. Park manager. Your job is to patrol the grounds, keep order, and make guests feel safe. Peter, got it. So basically, Batman, but with corn dogs. Montage. Peter AS security guard arrests a teenager for excessive cotton candy consumption. Uses the loudspeaker to sing karaoke instead of making announcements. Tries to chase a pickpocket, but gets distracted by a hot dog stand.
Int.
Griffin kitchen. Night. Peter brags to the family. Peter. Best part about being a park security guard? You get a badge, a whistle, and unlimited authority over churros. Stewie. Yes, a true tyrant of fried dough. Cold open it. Griffin living room. Evening. Lois is watching the news. Peter is roasting marshmallows over a candle. TV news anchor, VO. Quahog Fire Department is recruiting volunteer firefighters this month. Peter Lois, this is it. I love fire, I love sliding down poles, and I love wearing hats that make me look important. Lois Peter, being a firefighter is dangerous. It's about saving lives, not playing dress up. Peter Lois, saving lives is just playing dress up with style. Cutaway gag, EXT, house fire. Night Peter runs into a burning house, comes out carrying only a giant bucket of fried chicken. Firefighter Peter, there were people in there. Peter, yeah, but look at this, extra crispy. Act 1 Int. Quahog Fire Station Day. Peter arrives in full gear, holding a garden hose and wearing oven mitts. Fire Chief, your job is to respond to emergencies, maintain equipment, and stay in shape. Peter got it. So basically, Ghostbusters, but with less slime and more chili. Montage. Peter AS firefighter slides down the pole 50 times for fun, blocking real firefighters. Uses the fire hose to wash his car. Brings marshmallows to every call just in case.
Int.
Griffin kitchen. Night. Peter brags to the family. Peter, best part about being a firefighter? You get respect, free chili, and you can nap at work without anyone questioning it. Cold open it. Griffin living room. Morning Lois is doing yoga with a DVD. Peter is lying on the couch, eating potato chips, wearing sweatbands he clearly hasn't used. TV announcer, VO. Quahog Fitness Center is hiring new gym instructors. Peter Lois, this is perfect. I love yelling at people, I love sweat, and I love pretending I know how muscles work. Lois Peter, gym instructors need to be fit. Peter Lois, round is a shape. Checkmate. Cutaway gag it. GYM, Day Peter spots a guy lifting weights. Peter, that's good, but can you bench press me? Peter immediately jumps on the barbell, collapsing it. Act 1 Int. Quahog Fitness Center. Day Peter arrives in neon spandex, holding a whistle and a bucket of fried chicken. Gym manager, your job is to motivate clients, lead workouts, and keep the gym safe. Peter got it, so basically I yell, "Feel the burn," while eating drumsticks. Montage. Peter AS gym instructor tells people the treadmill is optional and takes a nap on it. Tries to spot a weightlifter but accidentally drops his soda on the bar. Teaches aerobics by making everyone dance to Who Let the Dogs Out.
Ant.
Griffin kitchen. Night Peter brags to the family. Peter, best part about being a gym instructor? You get paid to sweat and judge people, two of my favorite hobbies. Stewie, yes, a true fitness fraud in polyester. Act 2 Int. Quahog Science Museum, Day. Peter is leading a tour group, clearly making up facts. Peter, so, this T-Rex skeleton here? Yeah, scientists found it fully intact playing chess with a triceratops. Tourist, really? Peter, oh, absolutely. Paleontologists were skeptical at first, but when they saw it was a close game, they were convinced. Scene shifts to Stewie and Brian trailing the group, shaking their heads in disbelief. Brian, Stewie, anywhere else, Peter's tenure there would be over in a hot second. Stewie, yes, but here, his ignorance is a priceless fossil.
Int.
Science Museum, Dinosaur Exhibit, Day. Peter leans against a Tyrannosaurus tail, accidentally activating a Dino Roar recording. Peter, cool, huh? I did that on purpose to show how fierce these lizards were. Cut to a kid pulls on a lever marked "Do Not Touch," causing the museum lights to flicker. Kid, is this all part of the tour? Peter, absolutely. It's a lights show in the spirit of scientific zaniness. Now, onwards to the gift shop. Act 3 Int. Griffin living room, night. Lois, Stewie, and Chris discuss Peter's shenanigans at the museum. Lois, I just hope they don't expect Peter to actually learn anything. Chris, maybe he'll discover a new comet and name it after me. Peter bursts through the front door, carrying a cardboard box. Cold open it. Griffin living room, evening. Peter is on the couch, holding an empty pizza box. Peter, Lois, I just realized something. I eat so much pizza, I might as well get paid to deliver it. Lois, Peter, pizza delivery requires speed, responsibility, and not eating the order before it gets there. Peter, Lois, I can do at least one of those things. Cutaway gag, XT, front porch. Night Peter handing a customer a box with only one slice left. Peter, there was traffic. ACT1EXT. Sal's Pizzeria, Day. Peter arrives wearing a pizza pattern cap and holding a garlic bread in his mouth. SEL, owner. You'll deliver hot pizzas fast and keep the customers happy. Peter, got it. And if I get lost, I'll just eat the evidence. Montage. Peter AS pizza delivery guy delivers to the wrong house, stays for dinner anyway. Uses the pizza bag as a pillow for a power nap. Tries to drift the delivery car into a driveway.
Int.
Griffin kitchen, night. Peter brags to the family. Peter, best part about delivering pizza? You get paid, you get tips, and you get first dibs if the customer doesn't answer the door. Stewie, yes, a true innovator in culinary theft. Montage. Peter AS pizza delivery guy delivers to the wrong house, stays for dinner anyway. Act I, the mix-up. Opening, Griffin living room, Lois. Peter, why is your name on this ballot for Quahog City Council? Peter, oh, that? I thought I was entering a raffle for free pizza. Cutaway. Peter at a sign-up table, city council candidates, asking, does this come with breadsticks? Chris, so, you're running for office now. Meg, this is going to be embarrassing. Stewie, finally, a chance to overthrow a government from the inside. Act 2. The campaign. Peter launches his Vote for Fun campaign. Slogan: more hot dog stands in public libraries. Lois tries to make him take it seriously. Chris is in charge of making campaign posters, which are mostly drawings of sandwiches. Meg handles social media, but gets trolled nonstop. Stewie and Brian run the attack ads against Peter's opponent, Councilman Rudd. B-plot: Stewie's dirty politics. Stewie digs into Rudd's past and finds out he once returned a library book late. Brian: that's not really a scandal. Stewie: it is if we add dramatic music and slow motion. Act 3. The debate. At the televised debate, Lois gives Peter talking points, but he ignores them. Peter promises to replace all speed bumps with trampolines. Chris accidentally takes the mic and rants about pizza rolls. Meg gets booed just for being on stage. Stewie sneaks into the control booth to flash "Vote Peter" on the big screen. Act 4. Election day. The Griffins go all out. Peter gives voters free hot dogs. Chris dresses as a giant ballot. Meg hands out flyers that immediately get used as napkins. Stewie accidentally locks Rudd in a porta potty until polls close. Peter wins by 1 vote. Act V. Epilogue. A Griffin living room. Lois: well, you're officially a city councilman. Peter: and my first law? Free nachos at every council meeting. Stewie: my work here is done for now. Brian: this city's doomed. Cutaway: city council chamber with a nacho cheese fountain in the middle of the room.
The end.
Episode title: Peter the radio talk show host. Cold open. It. Griffin living room. Morning. Peter is fiddling with the radio, annoyed by static. Brian is sipping coffee, unimpressed. Radio announcer, VO. Quahog FM is looking for a new late-night talk show host. Peter: Lois, this is it. I've got a big mouth, terrible opinions, and the ability to talk for hours without saying anything useful. I'm perfect. Lois: Peter, radio hosts need to be professional and keep their audience engaged. Peter: Lois, my audience is stuck in traffic. They'll listen to anything. Cutaway gag. It. CAR, day driver stuck in traffic, listening to Peter on the radio. Peter: VO. And that's why hot dogs are basically tacos with bad PR. Driver: he's not wrong. Act 1. Int. Quahog FM radio studio. Night. Peter walks in wearing sunglasses, headphones around his neck, and holding a box of donuts. Station manager: you'll host the late night slot. Keep it entertaining, no dead air, and absolutely no prank calls. Peter: got it. So prank calls only after midnight. Montage. Peter AS radio host gives out fake advice like, replace your car horn with a duck call to save gas. Plays random sound effects instead of actual songs. Argues with callers, then hangs up dramatically.
Int.
Griffin kitchen. Night. Peter brags to the family. Peter: best part about being a radio host? You can say anything you want, and people can't change the station fast enough. Stewie: yes, a true maestro of meaningless noise.
Int.
Griffin living room. Night. Peter is eating popcorn out of a giant mixing bowl while watching a movie. TV announcer, VO. Quahog Cineplex is hiring ushers for the summer blockbuster season. Peter: Lois, this is it. Free movies, unlimited popcorn, and the power to tell people to shush. Lois: Peter, you'll just end up watching every movie instead of working. Peter: Lois, I can multitask, watch movies, and ignore my responsibilities. Cutaway gag. Int. Movie theater. Day. Peter, wearing an usher uniform, laughing loudly at the screen while customers try to get his attention. Act 1. Int. Quahog Cineplex day. Peter shows up wearing an usher vest that's clearly too small, holding a flashlight like it's a lightsaber. Theater manager: you'll tear tickets, guide people to their seats, and keep the place clean. Peter: got it. But if someone's phone rings, I'm answering it. Montage. Peter A.S. movie theater usher eats half a customer's popcorn for quality control. Gives wrong theater directions just to see what happens. Tries to sell bootleg DVDs in the lobby.
Int.
Griffin kitchen, night. Peter brags to the family. Peter, best part about being an usher? You can watch the same movie 12 times and call it work. Stewie, yes, a true cinematic parasite. Cold open int. Griffin living room, night. Peter is watching Taxi Driver on TV while eating fries. TV announcer, VO, Quahog City Taxi Service is now hiring new drivers. Peter Lois, this is it. I can drive around, tell jokes, and honk at people who don't move fast enough. Lois Peter, being a taxi driver takes patience and good navigation skills. Peter, please, Lois, I've been getting lost since 1978. I'm basically a pro. Cutaway gag, EXT, City Street. Day Peter drops a passenger in the middle of a cornfield. Passenger, this isn't the airport. Peter, well, technically, birds take off here. Close enough. ACT1EXT, Quahog Taxi Depot, day. Peter shows up in a beat-up cab, wearing a hat that says #OneDriver. Dispatcher, your job is to pick up customers, get them where they need to go, and keep the cab clean. Peter, got it. 2 out of 3 isn't bad. Montage. Peter A.S. taxi driver eats burgers in the back seat while making passengers sit in the front. Sings karaoke loudly instead of turning on the meter. Picks up Quagmire, who insists on 5 stops at sketchy motels.
Int.
Griffin kitchen, night. Peter brags to the family. Peter, best part about being a taxi driver? You can charge people extra if you take the scenic route, even if the scenic route is just your driveway. ACT2EXT, Quahog National Park, day. Peter is leading a group of tourists, claiming every animal he sees is a rare species. Peter, and over there, folks, is the legendary Quahog quackadactyl. They only come out when I'm around. Tourist, isn't that just a duck? Peter, that's what it wants you to think. Peter leads them to a dangerous trail. Peter, prepare for an encounter with a ferocious New England Sasquatch. Cut to Peter pointing at a bush, just waving because of the wind. Peter, look, there it goes. The tourists are skeptical, but keep following Peter. EXT, Park Ranger Station, day. The park supervisor receives complaints about Peter's behavior. Park supervisor Peter, it's imperative to stick to facts and respect the intelligence of our visitors. Peter, absolutely, supervisor. But may I remind you of natural selection? Only the smartest visitors will survive my tours. The supervisor rolls his eyes, but decides to observe Peter secretly. Act 3 int. Woods day. Peter is on another tour when a real bear shows up. Peter, now this, ladies and gentlemen, is just a big teddy bear. They love being hugged. The tourists nervously back away as Peter tries to hug the bear. Just then, the park supervisor jumps in, blowing a whistle. The bear, startled, runs away. Park supervisor Peter, what are you doing? ACT2EXT, school route day. Peter's bus careens down a street, kids bouncing around like popcorn. Little girl, Mr. Griffin, are we supposed to be on 2 wheels? Peter, technically no, but doesn't this feel like a roller coaster? Back to scene int. Bus, day. Peter notices a car trying to pass. Peter, hold on, kids. Time to play who can block traffic? Peter swerves left and right, blocking the car as kids cheer. EXT, ice cream shop, day. The bus is parked with kids outside enjoying ice cream cones. Peter licks his thumb like a proud parent. Peter, this is what education is truly about. Experiential learning.
Int.
Principal's office, day. Principal Shepard is glaring. arms crossed. Peter sits innocently across the desk, fiddling with the megaphone. Principal Shepherd Peter, you've turned my school's daily commute into Mario Kart. Peter, and like Mario, I've never looked back. Act 3 and School Bus Day. Peter sits on the bus, a decision dawning upon him. Peter fainted. I suppose maybe the chaos isn't always good for the kids. Little boy, no offense, but isn't all this illegal? EXT, school, day, school bus shows up with police sirens. Peter is escorted off the bus by a very unamused officer. Cold open it. Griffin living room, afternoon. Stewie is watching an animal documentary. Peter walks in eating animal crackers. TV announcer, VO. The Quahog Zoo is hiring new tour guides for the summer season. Peter Lois, this is perfect. I love animals, I love talking, and I love talking to animals. Lois Peter, you can't just make up animal facts. Peter Lois, 99% of animal facts are just opinions with fur. Cutaway gag, EXTZOO, Day Peter points at a giraffe. Peter and that, folks, is a long-necked horse that lost a bet. ACT1EXT, Quahog ZOO, Day. Peter arrives in a safari hat and khaki vest, holding a walkie-talkie. Zoo manager, your job is to lead tours, answer questions, and keep guests safe. Peter got it, and if the monkeys throw anything at me, I'm throwing it back. Montage. Peter AS, zoo tour guide, tells kids penguins are just cold chickens. Lets a goat ride in a zoo golf cart. Accidentally drops his lunch into the lion enclosure.
Int.
Griffin kitchen, night. Peter brags to the family. Peter, best part about working at the zoo? You get to act smart just because you can pronounce hippopotamus. Stewie, yes, truly a scholar of the absurd. Act I, the offer. Opening, Griffin living room, Lois. Peter, why is there a $20,000 charge to something called Astrotourism Adventures? Peter, oh, that's our family trip to space. I used the emergency credit card. Lois, Peter, that card is for emergencies. Peter, Lois, how many times in life do you get to say, oops, I dropped my nachos in zero gravity? Cutaway. Peter chasing floating nacho cheese with his mouth in a spaceship. Act 2. Boarding the rocket, the Griffins arrive at the spaceport. Peter is excited about space snacks. Chris wants to see aliens. Meg just wants to avoid motion sickness. Stewie is fascinated by the technology and already planning to hijack the ship. Brian's only concern is if they have wine on board. B-plot, Stewie's space takeover. Stewie decides the captain is unworthy and begins hacking into the ship's navigation system. Brian, you're not seriously going to hijack a rocket, are you? Stewie, Brian, if Bezos can do it, so can I. Act 3. Space problems once in orbit. Peter lets go of a soda can, which floats into the control panel and causes a system warning. Chris tries to open a window for fresh air. Act I, the free vacation. Opening, Griffin living room, Lois. I want a free all-inclusive island getaway for the whole family. Peter, Lois, if I've learned anything in life, it's that anything free comes with a catch, except free samples, and even then you might get salmonella. Cutaway, Peter in a mall food court, eating a shrimp sample and immediately fainting. Chris, sweet, I'm packing my swimsuit. Meg, I'll just pack my book so I can ignore you all. Stewie, I'll pack a knife. You never know. Act 2. The trap. When they arrive, the resort turns out to be part of a reality survival game show, Stranded for Cash. Host, you'll live on this island for a week with only basic supplies. The last family standing wins $50,000. Lois. Peter, what did you sign us up for? Peter, I thought all-inclusive meant all-you-can-eat hot dogs. Act 3. Island life. Peter builds a shelter out of pool noodles. It collapses. Lois actually starts a decent campfire, but Peter uses it to toast 40 marshmallows at once. Chris tries fishing, but ends up catching his own shoe. Meg finds a freshwater stream and refuses to share until someone says something nice about her. Stewie and Brian start plotting to overthrow the host and take over the island. B-plot: Stewie's island coup. Stewie bribes other contestants with coconuts in exchange for loyalty. Brian: Stewie, it's a reality show. There's no real power here. Stewie: tell that to my coconut army. Act 4. The storm. A huge storm hits. Peter's noodle shelter blows away into the ocean. Chris gets stuck inside a giant seashell trying to ride it like a sled. Act 1 continued. EXT. Neighborhood Street. Day. Peter spots a rival ice cream truck driver, Ice Cream Joe, who seems to have cornered the market on snow cones. A challenge arises. Peter: Joe, how about a little friendly competition? Whoever sells the most today gets to keep the Chill Master title. Ice Cream Joe: you're on, Griffin. The neighborhood children are the judges, lured in by free samples. Cutaway gag. Peter in a makeshift commercial. Peter: hi, I'm Peter Griffin for Peter's Premium Pops. Come for the ice cream. Stay, because you're stuck to the pavement in the heat. ACT2 EXT. Residential Street. Day. Peter sets up an elaborate stunt with a watermelon cannon to attract kids, turning the street into a circus. Peter: step right up, kids. Free scoops if you can catch them midair. Chaos ensues as children scramble for ice cream, turning it into a sticky free-for-all.
Ant.
Griffin kitchen. Night. Lois and Brian are watching the local news. News reporter, Theo. And there's uproar in Quahog as a bizarre ice cream stunt clogs the street. Back to you, Connie. Lois: Peter, when your antics make the news, it's usually not a good thing. Peter: I was delivering joy, Lois, and possibly an increase in local ant populations. ACT3 EXT. Quahog Ice Cream Depot. Day. Peter returns to the depot, expecting a hero's welcome, but is instead met by the depot manager. Depot manager: Peter, you've sparked a neighborhood feud. It's time to chill out permanently. Feeling defeated, Peter spots Ice Cream Joe, who approaches him. Ice Cream Joe: hey, you've got guts, Griffin. In fact, you've got a new fan. Want to team up? Act I. The challenge begins. Griffin kitchen. Lois: Peter, over the weekend you have 3 tasks: clean the garage, fix the door hinge, and pay the bills. Peter: Lois, I'm doing the #0task challenge. 2 days of doing nothing. Scientifically detoxing. Stewie squinting. Even laziness has a PR team. Cutaway. Peter sets a timer, lying on the couch, productivity fasting. As the timer rings, he proudly declares success. Meg, please don't tag me on your blog post about this. Brian, you don't work, the universe will make you work, just saying. Act 2. Zero Task trending across town. Peter launches his live stream on YouTube to promote Zero Task. Segment 1. Correct posture for doing absolutely nothing. Segment 2. Eating snacks without actually eating. He munches on air, then real chips. Segment 3. Patience meditation. He falls asleep. Within hours, #Zero Task Challenge is trending. Quagmire joins. Giggity, doing nothing with style. Cleveland. Man, I've been on this challenge for years. Joe, winking citizens, please continue doing nothing. Easier to patrol. Lois fuming. Peter, if the door hinge isn't fixed, I'll squeak squeak Peter. That's motivational sound effect. B-plot. Stewie's missing toy conspiracy. Stewie notices his favorite rubber duck is missing. Stewie. Theft. Treason within the household. Brian. Probably under the couch. Stewie. Silence. Canine. We implement evidence-based tyranny. He launches a CSI-style investigation. Powder fingerprints, laser grid, warrantless search in Meg's room. Cutaway. Stewie in the courtroom, both judge and lawyer. Order. The baby is speaking. Finally finds the duck in the washing machine. Peter put it there during a zero laundry tutorial live stream.